Hi everybody, this is Tim ONeill. I'm going to give you a step-by-step of what I did to go through our very first oil painting assignment with the Mastery program. The first thing I did was to go select the source. So as you log into MilanInstitute.com, log in and then just go to My Library. My Library comes up to the Online Mastery program, say View Product. And then you're just going to come down to the week that we are in. This is week 1, part 1. And where this actually comes from is the underpainting. And you can see that the sources are right there. So just click on the monochromatic underpainting and it brings you to this page. Scroll down just a little bit, head over to sources, click on sources, and it will take you to the Pinterest page where Ellie has a whole bunch of sources for us to use on this very first assignment. So I've scrolled through here, and I particularly like this chicken. However, if you want to find the actual, the same exact reference that Ellie does, then I think we can get there by clicking on this one and then moving down, and you'll see this Just Birding the Scarlet Macaw is, I believe, the same one that she used. I want to use a different one. I'm not sure what would be best. I think some coaches would say use something different. Others might say use the same one, but I would like to use this one right here, this little hen, or rooster, I guess. It's a rooster, sorry. From here, once you choose that, all you have to do is click on the 3 dots here, click to download image. I'm going to save this file. It's going to, in my case, go to my downloads folder, and then I'm going to open it up in Photoshop just because there's a few different things that I would like to change on this image. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is find the file that you saved. I saved mine. I took it from the downloads folder and put it in week 1 Milan Mastery. And so I'm going to open that thing up in Photoshop. Open Photoshop. There's my image. I'm going to do a couple different things to this first. First thing I want to do is go ahead and change it to a black and white. So I'm going to duplicate the layer by Control or Command J. That duplicates the layer. Then we'll go down here and do a layer adjustment, and we'll just hit black and white. That'll change it for us. Move that out of the way. Then the other thing is I am going to add a 10-step value scale or value wedge to mine so that I can have a better idea of where my values are. I've not painted like this before, so I'm a little bit nervous about how to get my values correctly, so I'm going to put a step wedge in. And while I'm doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and crop it, and we will see where we are with the rule of thirds here. And I'll probably just go ahead and leave me some space so I can fix his eye so he's right in a third, and that will give me the opportunity to also add a little bit to the bottom so I can put a step wedge, or to the top. I guess I'll probably do it on the top. So anyway, there we go. I'm just gonna be right there on my rule of thirds. I'm gonna go ahead and click or hit return. That solidifies it. Then you can see there's all this funky stuff in the bottom, and what I really want to do is go ahead and clear out that white. Easy way to do that: expand this background. I hit my marquee tool, M for marquee. I select this all the way out to the edge, right click, free transform, hold down the command button. You can just expand that background out. Now this won't work well for photography all the time because it stretches things, but for doing what I'm doing here and just creating a background, it works really well. Or not a background, excuse me, creating a resource. So I'll do the same thing over here. What you don't want to do is grab any of the tail or any other things that are not stationary, or that are stationary rather, because it'll just pull them right out. Free transform. After right clicking, hold Command or Control key down, pull it to the left, it expands the background, boom, hit return. And again, this is really quick and dirty, but it does work for what we're trying to do here. Then I'm going to go ahead and open up my step wedge. In my case, I just had it. It's right here. I'm going to hit V, and that will let me drag this in here. And I'll hit Control T. Again, you guys, this is not really a Photoshop tutorial. I just want to show you how I went about making my resource, because I had a difficult time trying to figure out what this was going to look like. So, whoops. Need to hold down the Shift key, and I'll just put that to the edges. Bring it down just a little bit more. And again, that's going to cover up some of the top, but that's absolutely fine. It's on a separate layer, so I can go ahead and just make it a little bit bigger, cover up that spot. All right, next thing we're going to do is, the background for me is a little bit light. I want most of the attention on his face, and so and I also would like to see some detail in his wings here. It's not necessarily there, so I'm going to go ahead and dodge and burn this. The easiest way that I found, a really very quick way, is to add a layer. So go up to the layer, new layer, change the mode to soft light, and that gives you this little box right here. Click that box and it's going to fill that layer with 50% neutral gray. And I'm just going to title this Dodge and Burn. Don't need layer 3 there. Click OK, and you can see it's right here. Now all I have to do is grab a brush, B for brush. I have a nice soft round brush, and I can burn with black, and I can dodge with white. Pretty simple, very fast, and again, it's kind of non-destructive, so I can always go back to my original one if I need to. I'm just going to bring that background out, see if I can get a little more focus on his face there. Again, this is for reference. A lot of that we can fix in painting, I am assuming. So let's go. I do want to make sure my flow is turned down here, because I don't want to kill this thing. This is faster than I normally do it, because again, it's reference. I want this to get darker behind him. All this outside. Put a little vignette around it. This is particularly troubling. Okay. See what's going on in here. This all looks pretty good. I'm going to switch to white by just hitting X. I'm going to lighten this just a little bit right in here so I can see some detail. I'm going to hit these feather ridges so they pop just a little bit. Now this under here, under his wing, watch that. I know there's some stuff going on in there. I can't really see it. So underneath in the shadow area, it still needs to be shadow, of course, but I want to see what's happening. I'm going to bring this leg out just a little bit. Spur, and then this, I should take this out. I'm not going to paint it in, but I'll just not include it when I paint. But in the meantime, it's kind of distracting, so I'm going to bring him down a little bit. There you go. All right, let's see what we have. Yeah, if that bugs me right there, I could fix it, but it's not going to really affect me too much. So without the dodge and burn, and with the dodge and burn. Without the dodge and burn, with it. One more thing, right back in here, this really kind of bothers me a lot. I'm going to take that down just a little bit. We do have some nice chiaroscuro going on, and I want that. I just don't want it to be so bright that your eye goes to that first. I want the viewer's eye, to go towards his face. So I'm going to bring that down a little bit. Okay, that's it. Now I'm just going to save it, call it good, print it out, and I'm ready to start.